This is a very simple and easy to do Valentine's makeup look. So I'm just starting off with my YSL foundation. I'm pretty obsessed with this stuff. This is the illuminating foundation, which works great for people, especially with dry skin. But it's going to add just a very nice natural skin finish, but also cover any of the imperfections and darkening I might have on my face. And here I'm using a Real Techniques foundation brush. I went ahead and just brought that through up to my eyes. My skin's really dry right now, so it's actually a pretty good primer for me and settles into my skin pretty well. Next, I'm going to go straight onto my eyes. And here I'm using a very pretty and sort of a smoky gray color. It's got a lot of shimmer into it and a lot of pigment, so I'm just using a flat eyeshadow brush and really patting that into my eyelid rather than brushing it and having the shadow almost sort of spray off the side of my face. I'm just patting it right in there and I'm going right up to the bottom of my crease. You don't have to worry about getting it really blended yet because we're actually going to go through with another color in just a minute to get a nice blend on that. But just make sure, more than anything, you get a lot of buildup of product so that it's a nice, pure, smoky color. Now I'm taking a blending brush and I'm actually using another more mild, shimmery silver color, and this actually has a little more of a satin finish to it. Patina is one of my favorite crease colors as of lately. It's a silver that has slightly more neutral tones in it, so it's going to work well to really blend that first smoky color I put on into my crease bone and give it a natural transition. Now I'm taking a blackish brown and I'm actually skipping any eyeliner there on the top of my lids and just going straight in with a pencil brush and that dark black brown and smudging it all across my lash line on the top and the bottom. Just be sure that you're really connecting it in the corner of your eye so that it has a nice, smooth, smoky look to it. You can use your fingers to do any little bit of extra blending that you might need. Now I'm going to go in with a black eyeliner, and this is a Kohl liner from MAC, so it has a lot of pigment and very carbon black to it. So I'm going to smudge that into the bottom lash line, or even, I guess it's called a waterline, but you want to stay closer to the lashes rather than closer to the eyeball. And then I'm going to take my pencil brush again and sort of smudge a little bit of that blackish brown on top of that liner just to set it so that it doesn't move around. I also added a little bit on the upper waterline as well, just to fill that black line in a little bit. I want it to have more of a smoke, shadowy look rather than really lined out with a thick black eyeliner or anything. Just let your brush do the work. Make sure it's very blended. It's kind of the key to a smoky eye. Just every time you use that pencil, make sure you're setting it with the powder on top of it. Check your work and make sure you're even. Now I'm going to go with my concealer and sort of clean everything up. I'm using a more full coverage concealer. One, because I need it today. My eyes have slightly more bags than normal, so I just want to get more of that coverage. And I'm just using a fluff brush to blend that in and clean up any of that shadow that might have fallen a little bit. You can do that if not a lot of shadow has fallen, but if too much has, you want to make sure you clean that up first with maybe a wipe so that you're not just smearing powder all over the place. And thanks to my hormones taking over my face. I've got quite a bit of breakouts around my mouth right now, so I'm just covering those with the concealer as well. And making sure everything with my foundation is really well blended, and you can use a concealer to do that. Here I'm using a little bit more of a red toned concealer to sort of dot over anywhere I'm seeing even darker spots. That red is going to cancel out any of the gray tone that's in my skin and just make it look a little bit smoother, a little bit more flesh toned. Now I've already put most of my mascara on, but I'm just sort of brushing over the very tips of them to really bring those out. Because I'm not doing eyeliner, I really want to make sure that my lashes are just really, really black and as full as possible. Now I'm going to fill my brows in. I'm using the lingering eyebrow pencil, which is my favorite. I've used it for years. I'm just lining out the very bottom line and giving them the shape that I want. I'm not going all the way into the inner part of my brows. Just starting about 3/4 of the way up those, and then I'm going to wing out my brows and bring them more to a point at the end. Now with an eyeshadow brush or with an eyebrow brush, I am using an ash toned eyeshadow and just filling those in, brushing from the line up. And you'll notice I'm not going all the way on the inner part of my brows. I have a brow gel that I'm going to use to give a little bit more of a natural transition in there, but you just want to use the powder to blend that line in as much as possible. And here's my brow gel. I'm just going to brush my lashes up and over so that they're all going in the same direction, and I'm going to really fill in that inner part of my brows. It just gives it a really pretty natural transition. Keep my brows in place as well, which is I much need because mine are curly. Now I'm just touching over my foundation with a light mineral powder. And because it's Valentine's, I want my cheeks and my lips to have sort of a pinky tone to them. So this is Dainty Mineral Blush from MAC. I'm just focusing getting it there on the apples of my cheeks. And I just got this gloss recently, and I've always been a really big fan of Rimmel glosses. I think that they stay on really well. They don't get gummy at all, and this is just a really pretty pink that matches the blush almost perfectly. And there you go, a very simple, easy Valentine's look.